Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching The Breakfast Show live on Nile TV International. It's now time for a second and final topic of discussion for today. And as we noted earlier, we're going to be talking about the important steps taken by Egypt to promote the touristic destinations and encourage tourists to visit the country. And to shed more light on this topic, we're most delighted to be joined over the phone by Dr. Yehya Abdul, a tourism counselor. A very good morning, Dr. Yehya, and Ramadan Kareem.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Kareem.
Thank you so much. Dr. Yehya, first of all, if you can tell us more about the most important steps taken by Egypt to promote the tourism industry in the country.
Dr. Amr al-Qadi, chairman of the Egyptian Tourism Authority, has been conducting a vigorous campaign to promote travel through the Follow the Sun campaign that has been launched since March 16 for 8 weeks, and to target select travel market, like from USA, UK, Germany, Italy, and France. And they've been applying in like the social media on Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, and really there was like an increase of 100% over the viewers of a few weeks ago. There are 30 million users and viewers, like of the Egyptian attractions, and inquire earnestly about culture, tourism in Egypt sites and leisure activities as well. So, this is one of the greatest, opportunities to promote travel, as well as tomorrow, Dr. Inez Abdul, Minister of Culture, she will be announcing Egypt and Cairo as culture center for Islamic world. She will be accompanied by Dr. Abdul, President of ISISCO, Islamic Scientific, Educational, and Culture Organization. They will be near Bab al-Futuh, it's Old Cairo, for professional photographers who make, shots of archaeological heritage and antiquities, and this is, throughout the Islamic world. This is really a great opportunity for the Ministry of Tourism to promote attractions of Cairo and its heritage and glorious past.
Dr. Yehya, in light of the current challenges facing the world, of course, the pandemic and the Russian-Ukrainian crisis, how can Egypt take important or significant steps to encourage tourists to visit the country?
Well, actually, there is some good news. For example, Russian travel to Egypt is back after it was 1 month on embargo. So this is a great thing. And the work, hard work of the Ministry of Tourism is reaping its results. For example, this week, Marsa Alam Airport will be receiving 92 flights coming from major markets of Germany, Italy, Switzerland, Belgium, and Netherlands. So this is the great news for, travel to Egypt. Alexandria, for example, is receiving major cruise lines from Europe, and in Spain, the marketing media agency, Estalori, they confirmed that Egypt is a perfect destination for Spanish visitors throughout Eastern season, and they prefer, the cultural sites of Egypt, historical ones, architectural ones, notably at Cairo, Luxor, and Aswan destination. Again, the good news is, Madrid now is having a new direct flight service, from Spain to connect directly to Luxor to make, the trips and the tours of the visitors more enjoyable and consuming.
Doctor, also a much anticipated inauguration is the whole world is waiting for, the Grand Egyptian Museum. Also, your take or your insight on its impact on the tourism industry in the country.
Well, definitely, this is a great news for all of us, because let us remember on November 4th, this is the whole world will be celebrating the centennial of King Tut tomb discovery after it was discovered in 1922 by Howard Carter. This is one aspect. Again, the Grand Egyptian Museum, inshallah, moving forward, it will open its gates for the whole world with its 50,000 artifacts on display under one roof. So the whole world, is really is anticipating this great event to take place, and there's going to be rushing and a great demand for Egyptian antiquities for that event. We still have some good news. For example, Al-Fustat Museum for Civilization received over the past 12 months over 800,000 visitors that came to this, sophisticated and well managed, museum. Dr. Anani was there last week, and he's making plans to initiate and develop, another extension in that area of Fustat complex, which is going to be a textiles museum. So really, we have, to add up attractions that attract, visitors around the clock, which is great and hard work by the Ministry of Tourism.
Also, Dr. Yehya, about the state's efforts to facilitate the tourism, issuing e-visas and also easing the COVID restrictions as the percentage of the COVID infections has went down. How do you see this also would impact or affect the tourism in Egypt?
Well, the Egyptian authorities really are making travel to Egypt is more accessible and enjoyable, and we have some witnesses of this. Like last week, we had the chairman of Microsoft, Mr. Brad Smith, and his family. They were visiting the Giza Plateau. We have VIPs and celebrities around the clock. So really making travel accessible to Egypt and accommodation and tour guiding and sightseeing. These are some of the basic pillars to promote travel to any given destination, and our travel department and ministry is doing this, professionally, and that's why we have growing number of visitors now this season, inshallah.
Inshallah, Dr. Yehya. Also, as we're wrapping up, I'd like to listen to your closing remarks, sir.
Well, so the good news is addressing, and declaring Cairo as the culture capital for Islamic world. I like to that the Ministry of Tourism will take advantage of this, because we'll be having visitors from the whole Islamic world, events, competition, contests, professors and education and businesses. So we have to make plans, ahead to accommodate these groups and the plan travel groups for them and events and conferences and conventions. So they have to work closely with Dr. Inas Abdaim, because for 9 months, from April now 10, next Sunday, after the end of the year in December, Cairo will be culture capital for Islamic world. We'll have lots of artwork, businesses, education, sports, operas, performances, cultural affairs, book fairs, painting, photography.
Yes, so indeed, Dr. Yehya, we are looking forward to that. And on this note, we end it here. Thank you so much, Dr. Yehya Abdul, Tourism Counselor, and we really appreciate your insight as always. And the viewers, by this, we wrap up today's episode of The Breakfast Show live on Nile TV International. You were in the company of myself, Karim Gamaluddin, and my colleague, Dina Hussein. Until we meet again, this is goodbye.